Welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. May you live your truth. Good morning from Los Angeles. This is Dr. Erin, and my voice is all messed up today, which is really appropriate for the podcast that we're going to be doing today. So if this is your first time tuning in to Daily Dr. Erin, I'm a doctor of divinity, and we come together each day to know the truth, teaching universal law, spiritual distinctions, and the metaphysics of life in the realm of relationship, health, money, career, and creative expression. So yeah, I've been sick the last couple days, and it's been very interesting because if you follow what's going on, we've been launching Good Morning La La Land, and we've been talking about the fires. Yesterday we had a whole session. We actually created a whole show, and then the fires came along in LA, and we had to basically go off script and just talk about the fire, talking about stress and being overwhelmed and how to deal with it, and kind of also showcasing some behind the scenes of some footage of fire at Focus TV's, the family's home that was right next to the fire, and a bunch of stuff. So it's been an interesting last few days. And I was thinking about, so the title of today's talk is How to Deal with Stress. And it's so funny because it's perfect. This is perfect, right? So, because we're in the middle of flu season, we're in the middle of holidays, we're in the middle of intense times politically, and just lots of stuff going on in the world. So I think it's a very important topic for all of us to talk about. So whether you're listening to this now, whether you're listening to this in a year and no fires are going on, it doesn't matter. Because the reality is that we're always dealing with stress. And in today's modern world, we especially have a lot of stress. Right? It's mostly self-inflicted stress more than anything, right? So let's first define what stress is. So the definition is either pressure or tension upon a material object, which I don't know about you, but that's probably not the type of stress we're talking about, or a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or very demanding circumstances. Okay, so that's the kind of stress we're talking about. We're talking about mental stress, okay? So in today's world, we have a large amount of self-inflicted stress. Cell phones, traffic, bills, the news, chaotic relationships, the need to keep up with the Jones, and blah, 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 okay? Stress. We've always had stress. We will always have stress, okay? So how do we deal with the feeling of stress or being overwhelmed? Being overwhelmed is really what it is. So how to deal with stress and how to deal with being overwhelmed, because really they're one in of the same, okay? So I'm going to walk you through some steps as far as breaking this down for yourself, and some tools you can always use. So you may want to even put this in the notes of your phone for the future when you're stressed out, because this is a formula that really does work, okay? Man, my voice sounds bad, but I don't feel as bad as my voice sounds. I actually have been feeling really bad, but right now I don't feel bad. My throat is not happy right now. Okay. So number one thing I think when you're stressed is to first just obviously acknowledge that you're stressed, acknowledge that you have a choice in this matter, and you can keep being stressed and energizing the stress and keep dramatizing things, or you can choose to simplify. Okay. So number one is to simplify. So what does that mean? Because say you're stressed, say you're in the car, there's traffic, you're thinking about chores you need to do when you get home. You're thinking about the holidays, you're thinking about the fires, you're thinking about all this stuff. The number one thing is to simplify. So say you have loud music on, say you're, keep picking up your phone, is to just simplify. Turn off the radio, turn off stuff, simplify, take some deep breaths, whatever that is. So it doesn't matter if you're talking about in the moment or in a bigger picture, okay? So simplifying is always the first thing. And so whenever somebody is getting overwhelmed in life, we take it back to the basics. We take it to one thing, take it to one thing in your life that you're focusing on, making sure that you get good sleep, good food, and that you're doing the one thing that you need to do, something that is kind of the grounding area of your life. Maybe that's going to your work each day. Maybe that is, making sure that you are just staying with the people that you love each day. But I want you to just simplify your life is basically the number one thing of stress. When we take a look at people who are stressed, it's because they have too much going on. They're actually, their energy's flying each direction and it's getting swirly all over the place. So we want to get grounded, simplify. Simply, if you're doing a task, Stay present in that task, okay? Don't get to the future of like what the anxiety of what's going to happen tomorrow. Don't go to the past of what the regrets and things like that going on. Stay present, right? There's a famous book, I'm sure you've probably read it, called The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. And it's an amazing, game-changing book. I highly recommend it. The Power of Now. So if you want to de-stress, number one thing is to get really present. So number one thing is simplifying, and part of that is to be present, okay? So number two is to deprogram. So we begin to break down what is causing the stress. And stress is pretty easy if you break it down. It's basically you've put a negative meaning around things and you're having a negative result in your life, in your emotions, in your feelings, okay? So say traffic, right? Traffic is actually, it's neutral. There's nothing stressful about traffic. What makes traffic stressful is the thinking around it. Makes like, I need to get there now, I can't get there. The meaning that this is difficult, this is stressful. The meaning that we put around traffic is what makes traffic stressful. There's actually nothing stressful about traffic. It's a neutral thing in life. Some people may think it's the best thing because they can listen to YouTube and learn something while they're going slower in traffic, right? So it can be perceived differently. So number two is deprogramming your thoughts around the things in your life. So as you simplify in step number one, and then number two, you can take a look in your life, what is stressing you out? Money's stressing me out. The fires are stressing me out. Traffic's stressing me out. My kids are stressing me out, whatever that is. To begin to write down, why are those things stressing you out? What beliefs and expectations and things do you have around that that's having you have a negative assignment meaning around it, okay? So deprogramming, beginning to break down why you're stressed and beginning to take a look at that, okay? Because it usually comes down to expectations. It usually has to do with thinking life should be different than it is. So you either need to accept things as they are, or these are divine signs. The stress is telling you you're not living in alignment with your truth, okay? So deprogramming yourself. So number three is aligning yourself with your truth. What is your truth? If you don't like traffic, you don't have to live in a city where there's traffic, right? So beginning to say, you know what? I'm going to start making new priorities. I'm going to start living in alignment with my truth. I'm going to start eating the things that I know make me feel good. I'm going to start having the relationships that I really want to have that are not stressing me out. So beginning to align with your truth. So if there's things in your life that stress you out, like say your relationships are really stressing you out. So what type of relationships, who do you need to become to have those relationships not be stressful, right? And then number four, like we go over all the time, is affirm. So having a daily routine to stay non-stressed. So I don't know if that is exercise in the morning and meditation, whatever daily routine that you need to help you stay de-stressed. If traffic stresses you out, guess what? Reshuffle your life. Leave before traffic or after traffic. There is a way, I promise you, that if you sit down with yourself, you know what? I'm done living a stressful life. I promise you can figure it out. You are that powerful. You really are. So again, the 4 steps are: number one, simplify. Number two is to really take a look at your programming. What is it that has you get so stressed out? What are the meanings that you're putting on things? What are the choices that you're making for your life that are making you stressed out? Number three is living your truth, aligning with what is it that's going to be a life that's not stressful. And number four is affirm. Have a daily ritual, daily routine. What is your daily practice around staying de-stressed, staying peaceful? Maybe it's meditation, whatever that is, okay? So today's universal law is the law of allowing. Every day we have a law to align with. So the law of align states that life is a flow of energy exchange. What you resist persists, right? Perfect for today. So where in life are you resisting? Because that's where your stress is. Where in life are you resisting? Because that's where you are persisting. So the moment you put a negative meaning on something that has or has not occurred, you instantaneously experience a negative feeling. This is the universe's way of ebbing you towards the things that cause you joy. This law is designed for you to get in the current of life that aligns with your truth and floats down the river of ecstasy. The areas of life where you experience compulsion or dysfunction or stress is the way of the universe ebbing you towards your unique divine path that is specific for you, okay? So today's daily spiritual practice is take some time to breathe. Take 10 deep breaths in from the nose, out the mouth. My gosh, listen to my mouth. Listen to my voice. It's incredible. How am I going to do the show today? So I'm drinking some tea. So, and then today's challenge is just say no. Say no to the things that keep you stressed, okay? And then you can find me across the board. You can get my free app at drerin.tv, get my 30 guided meditations, and begin to live with less stress, okay? And then you can also find me at erinfullhassle.com and all that good stuff. Find me on social media as Dr. Erin or drerin.tv, okay? You guys have a wonderful day, and may you live your truth.